The late 2000s to early 2010s were a really funny time for the first-person shooter genre. Call of Duty was like the series at the time. It was constantly topping charts every year, and this game was bleeding red, white, and blue patriotism out of its fucking ass during the height of the Iraq War. With the release of Modern Warfare, a COD sub-series taking place kind of sorta in the present, COD grew huge, but it's not as war-glorifying as you'd expect. COD actually has quite a lot of anti-war themes. The series sets out to... I'm talking out of my ass here. However, no matter how many cover shooters glorify war, I've never heard of more a war-glorifying game than a game I haven't even heard about until this month. Listen, the Steam Summer Sale 2023 goes away tomorrow, but earlier, on the 2nd of this month, I was seeing if there were any Bethesda titles I haven't bought yet that I'd be mildly interested in playing. And there was a game that caught my eye. It was a game called Rogue Warrior for the low price of $2. This banner looks like a shitty FPS game you'd see as an early access title. Then I saw it. This game was not reviewed well at all. Rogue Warrior has a 29 out of 100 on Metacritic, with the highest rating I've seen of the game being given from Official Xbox Magazine for the Xbox 360 version of the game. Tell me that wasn't a biased pity score. I think my favorite thing I've seen from the reviews is Game Informer saying, "The story comes across as a 6-year-old's interpretation of Cold War events." The game has been detested for having poor controls, glitches, bad graphics, bad gameplay, rush production, uninteresting gameplay, being short, and having a ton of profanity. The game was being developed by Zombie Studios, but in 2009, Bethesda announced their displeasure with the game's direction, scrapped the whole thing, and in less than a year, Rebellion Development squirted out this garbage. Rebellion, from what I can tell, is actually good at making games. They made the Sniper Elite series, so I think that's good for them. I believe this game was just rushed because Bethesda wanted to rush it. Rogue Warrior follows real-life Navy SEAL Richard Marcinko, who in this game is referred to as Demo Dick, except I heard nobody call him that throughout the entirety of the game. That's f***ing phallic. Imagine instead of Elias, my name was Dick Marsink. That guy didn't have to imagine. So I got the game, I installed it, and it had a weird frame stuttering issue that made me a little bit nauseous. Someone on the Steam community board said it's because of the keyboard being plugged in. I tried that, realized the PC version doesn't have controller support. I just unplugged my keyboard because someone on the internet told me so. I'm a f***ing idiot. I had to install a script that fixed the rendering engine of the game, and the stutter was gone. Voila! Then I had another issue. The mouse wasn't confined to whatever was on my screen. It kept moving to my second monitor, so when I shot, it clicked outside the window and minimized the game. I had to install another program to lock the mouse onto my first monitor. Then another issue arose. The game kept not showing up every now and then. It kept flashing my Steam library window showing that I am sure playing this game called Dick Marcinko Rogue Warrior as if it wanted me to sit there and reflect. But most of these issues got resolved. However, in my footage, the game audio is incredibly out of sync. But finally, onto the game itself. When you start a new game, there's 3 difficulty options, and the only one that doesn't insult you when you hover over it is the normal difficulty. Hard mode, you get mocked for trying to be special. On easy, you get called a pussy. I'm picking normal because I'm not feeling like having a humiliation kink today. So, the story is its own thing, despite being named after Dick Dastardly's 1992 autobiography. It has nothing to do with it or the guy's fiction novels. Dick Down is sent on a classified mission to Ungi, North Korea with a couple other SEALs that you don't see for the rest of the game, to retrieve intelligence from a North Korean mole on ballistic missiles that North Korea has, and to recon a factory that is developing said missiles. The Dick and Co. takes down a whole People's Army patrol, but one survives and pulls the pin on a grenade, killing his entire team. So that's why you don't see him. I didn't have any emotional attachment to those characters. I saw them on screen for like 30 seconds total, so I cannot say I was devastated by these deaths. After that cutscene, you're placed into the game where you learn the kill move mechanic. The kill move is kind of like the glory kill from Doom Eternal, except you can do it when the enemy is at any health. So the kill move is like takedowns in a lot of games, except you can do it from any angle. The guy can be actively shooting at you, yet Tricky Dick can truly never be defeated. In terms of gameplay, It is very bare bones. Just think of how every Call of Duty game plays and then strip it down to its bare essentials. That's Rogue Warrior! The most interesting thing it does outside of swearing dick over here is that it has really odd controls for an FPS game. I mean, standard WASD and left mouse button is here, shift to sprint, it's pretty normal until you get to literally every other action you'd perform in the game. Control, the key I usually have set to crouch in games, actually puts you in cover mode where you go third person so you can see enemies behind you. So, what's crouching? It's C, which I guess isn't too bad since plenty of olden FPS games use C to crouch. The button to throw grenades is the right mouse button, the button I usually use in these types of games to aim down sights. So, how do you aim down sights? With the spacebar, the button I usually have set to jumping. So, how do you jump? Do you really think that Tricky Dick wants to jump? Dick is the Captain Toad of FPS games. Not a single moment in gameplay do you actually jump. In cutscenes, totally, this guy's doing dives and shit all the fucking time. However, there isn't a jump button. I feel like that would have been standardized after Quake came out in 1996, which had a jump button. Hi, welcome to Elias's Workshop, where today I'm going to teach you how to make a controller that can properly play the video game Rogue Warrior. First, you're gonna need a keyboard. Everybody has one of these. Everybody who has a computer has a keyboard. If you don't, what's wrong with you? Second, you're gonna need one of these. And to make the controller, you're just gonna have to give it a good old... Now, I would like to show you about 50% of the game, but about an hour of footage I captured for this game is completely black and audio only. I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's no specific moment I need to talk about in that hour, but man, that is an hour of my life completely down the gutter. Actually, there is one moment, and it's that the grand plot twist is that the missiles are actually owned by the Soviets, and they're planning to use them. What am I gonna do with my life now that I can't show anybody the plot twist to Rogue Warrior? At least I captured this beautiful moment.
Suck my balls, my hairy f***ing big balls. Wrap them around your f***ing mouth.
Dick sure has a way with words. There is absolutely zero variety in the gameplay, and most missions feel extremely derivative. I really wasn't lying that it's the bare essentials of a cover shooter. In fact, outside of the extreme F-bomb usage, Dick can't go a sense without saying f*** or ass, he's like the angry United States patriot. The one thing that stood out to me about this game was how generic it was. And you want to know just how long this game is? 2.5 hours for me to beat it. Just enough for me to be able to refund this game. So, I can't capture any more footage if I want to, lol. Graphically, the game looks like piss even for a game in 2009. I've seen better textures in FPS games released 5 years prior. It doesn't look god-awfully bad, but it just doesn't look great. The art direction is also just as bland as the rest of the game, so there's not much to talk about in that regard. Rogue Warrior is one of the worst games I have ever played. It's horrible, and even though I had a little fun with it, that's just because some of the dialogue and set pieces are so over the top that this game would otherwise be possibly the most mediocre game of all time. At least it's short, it doesn't overstay its welcome. I beat it within the day I bought the game, which is rare for me to do. But this game just has nothing going for it. I beat it, I'm done, and I'm never gonna think about this game again. But first, look at how the game ends.
Not as sorry as those motherfuckers.
That's it, but the credits theme is, really great.
Rock and roll, motherfuckers, rock and roll.
So, throughout my entire playthrough, how many f***s did I encounter?
Dead fuckers, some motherfuckers.
Well, fuck that game. I've never heard that word without the bleep. Editor! What? Can you fix the sensor? It broke. And why did it break? You what? I played Rogue Warrior. You piece of shit. I told you not to play it. I deliberately did that so the sensor didn't break. You are a goddamn asshole that doesn't listen to a single thing I say. You're fired. Good. Never mind, come back, I need you. He'll come back. I mean, last time he left, I had to edit that day's Mario Paint Guy episode all by myself. welcome to a new episode of the Mario Paint Guy. Today we're going to be taking a look at the video game Cesar Millan's Dog Whisperer for the Nintendo DS. And, you know, brief spoilers, after playing this whole thing, and it's not as good as Mario Paint.